That's a good segue into what is big for this year and next year. So Sumit, curious, how do you foresee the market for AI agents developing in this full year?
You remember last couple of years back, or like 3 years back, people were talking about predictive AI. That was a big thing. Then from predictive AI, things became Gen AI and now on AI agent. So I definitely feel that AI agent is something which is pretty early on for this year. Some of the L1 or lower level stuff which people are doing will be taken by AI agents. So I'll give you guys an example. Right? I was working with one customer, and one of the use case they have, and just to remind you guys, what we do on AI agents is we actually have tools which helps customers to build their own AI agents. So you can always build your AI agents using LangChain or any coding language. But again, we sell it to enterprises. Not every enterprises can hire those people who can build those kind of coding skills, right? So that's why we provide them toolings which can actually help them to build their own AI agents. So that's why I see a lot of customer use cases. So yeah, so one of the customers we were talking to were trying to automate one of the things which their insurance reps were doing, where what they were doing was every time they were talking to a customer, their own insurance customer, they were writing it back to their CRM system. In their case, it was Salesforce. And that was a very low level work, which was very manual. So they wanted to replace that with an AI agent, and they kind of built that agent. Again, not every agent will be fully autonomous. There will be a human in the loop. So in my opinion, we will definitely see a quick, like there will be some use cases which will come up, and those use cases will try to go and replace some of the lower level manual work. Anything more than that, we still have to see. I think there's still, in my opinion, there still will be human involved.
Great. And then speaking of that, Ash, you mentioned the future, probably agents will be more of data and agents. That will be for enterprise software. And recently, Microsoft CEO also commented, SaaS will go away, software will go away, it will all be agents. So curious about your opinion on that. For the agents, do you feel they will replace SaaS or replace software?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned, I'll be lying to you if I said I know for sure, right? Because I don't. I will say it's going to be disruptive. There's this philosophy that our interface is no longer the human in a software. Like you use Canva for creating something, you talking to an agent does the work for you. I do think that is possible. Does software completely go away and become a back-end commoditized? I'm not sure yet for that theory. So the way I look at it is we should plan for that, but we should also plan for the other areas, right? Which I think, I'm seeing a lot with this idea that agents work together and then there's a human there. So if I'm a marketer, I need a prospecting agent to prospect, but I'm also running my social media. So now these agents can work together with each other. That's where I think the next phase is, where agents become really good, that they work with other agents and come back to the human. I'm a marketer, now I have a prospecting agent doing things for me. I have a social media person doing it. And then I'm creating these qualified leads and I'm handing it off to sales, right? It's kind of like the job of a marketer. And so think of an org chart, and the org chart has some humans and it has agents. Of course, no one knows. We could have a world where agents take over, and in that world, the agent orchestration is important, and then data. And then does UI, UX become different now, right? Because it's possible. I know what Satya said, but I don't know if that's, I've not seen that yet.
I was listening to a podcast actually on my way here where they were saying about agents and what we can expect in 2025. The truth is that they have advanced a lot, but 2025 is going to be everyone going back into pilot mode. Both customers and companies that are building these solutions, they actually don't know 100% how they're going to work. So a lot of the cases are going to be, how do you convince people to work in a pilot with you and figure these things out? That's kind of what I think about agents in the near future. And as I said, I think there's huge opportunity for verticalized agents that work on specific use cases that perhaps are not being targeted by the large companies. And if you go deeper into what that means, just go at how SaaS started, right? Like I think SaaS started being like very broad. And as time went by, like it started getting more and more verticalized, and a similar evolution that I see here.
Kai, I have a slightly different question for you. So for you, what do you feel are some of the major challenges with AI agents while you're developing with those technologies at Turing?
For our use case, actually coding agent is big area. I think we haven't probably touched yet, but I do see from firsthand. I even doing coding every day nowadays. The velocity of improvement has been significant last year. I think this year the same thing. So the point I am trying to make is that the underlying model capabilities probably is the real critical thing. Where once the underlying model it passes certain threshold, a lot of things start become feasible. So whenever something happens from the model, the underlying capability start to emerge. That's where the new opportunities start to emerge. Because the big guys normally have some kind of internal role mapping discussion. That's the opportunity, right? So they still are talking. They're not doing real work. You guys are doing the work. Then there's a window where you can make things happen. I think that the failure I saw was mostly due to the context. Because right now I feel the way the models are trained is still like kind of in the classroom. Everyone, the researchers still teach model as students. They haven't seen the real life. They don't really have the context, especially when it comes to the internal private information of the enterprise. So they don't really know what's going on there. So how to make sure that all the figure a way to model understand the context or has certain memory to remember, okay, what actually happened? Okay, think for instance, the HR team, right? So who reports whom, in which way, why we need a certain person at a certain position. They don't really have this type of understanding. I feel if some kind of making sure I'll figure out a way to teach model or teach your kind of the agent to do this type of work, that will be kind of something where give you edge over any in this space, right? Right now, I'm still kind of very nervous about the long tail. I haven't seen any of the real agent, even the say coding customer service, anything, right? There's still the whole station, the long tail. So it just kind of for some cases it doesn't matter, so people start use it, or there's easy way to verify that. But I feel when we start to push agent to more and more use cases, right? How to mitigate those corner cases will be more and more critical. So especially that the highly regulated industry, the HR, maybe kind of the finance, healthcare. I guess like what I heard was if really kind of made some serious mistake, maybe someone within the company actually will have the get sued. So that is pretty seriously. So how to making sure that there's a way to kind of protect kind of the business, protect even the person who will be kind of responsible for this will be the major thing. But I feel that's where the gap here will be not the big guys, probably should be all the people sitting in this room or in general, try to think about how to make all the cases to work. I don't feel OpenAI or Anthropic will be able to have this amount of resource to tackle all the corner cases. I think it's a challenge, also it's opportunity here.